He led the team that decoded human DNA, the greatest biological discovery of our time, and he did it while publicly professing his Christian faith. Francis Collins shows that you don't have to hide your belief in God to be a world-class scientist. In June 2000, scientists announced they had decoded human DNA. The Human Genome Project was complete. The man who led it, a devout Christian who publicly prayed, wrote books about faith, and refused to hide his belief in God. His name is Francis Collins, and he represents something rare in modern science. A brilliant researcher who openly professes Christian faith at the highest levels of scientific achievement. This is his story, and what it means for science today. Francis Sellers Collins was born on April 14, 1950, in Virginia. His father was a poet, and his mother was a pianist. Growing up, Collins was exposed to ideas and creativity. He was intelligent, but initially skeptical of religious faith. In college, he became an atheist. He studied physics and chemistry, drawn to understanding how things worked. He pursued medicine, then switched to genetics, the study of heredity and DNA. By the 1980s, Collins was a brilliant geneticist making major discoveries. He was recognized, respected, and ambitious. But something shifted in his late 20s. Witnessing his patients' suffering and faith sparked spiritual questions. He began reading C.S. Lewis. He began reconsidering God. By age 27, Collins became a Christian. His conversion was genuine and deep. He didn't hide it. He integrated faith into his identity. In 1990, the Human Genome Project officially launched. Its goal, sequence all 3 billion letters of human DNA. It was the biggest biology project ever attempted, an international collaboration of thousands of scientists with billions of dollars on the line. In 1993, Collins became the director leading the entire U.S. effort. He oversaw research using cutting-edge technology, massive computational power, and international teamwork. For 8 years, Collins guided the project toward its goal. On June 26, 2000, at a White House ceremony, Collins announced that the human genome was decoded. We had the blueprint of human life. Collins stood beside President Clinton and J. Craig Venter, the scientist from the private sector who was also working on the genome. It was a triumph. When asked about the achievement, Collins spoke candidly about his faith. For me, this represents a profound moment. We have been privileged to see the instruction manual for human life. Here's what's remarkable. As Collins understood human DNA more deeply, his faith strengthened rather than weakened. Many assume that understanding biology proves God is unnecessary. Collins experienced the opposite. Understanding biology's complexity increased his awe of a creator. He wrote in his book, The Language of God, "As I observed the startling elegance of the human genome, I felt a profound sense of awe and reverence. Here is the evidence of God's handiwork." For Collins, discovering how life works didn't disprove God. It demonstrated God's intelligence and power. He sees no conflict between evolutionary biology and Christian faith. Evolution is how God created life. The mechanisms are natural. The origin is divine. Collins has said, "One can be a rigorous scientist and a person of faith. I find no incompatibility." What makes Collins unusual isn't his faith. It's his willingness to express it publicly, in speeches, books, and interviews. He refuses to compartmentalize his life. In a scientific culture that often dismisses faith, Collins is remarkably outspoken. He's written multiple books on faith and science, given speeches about his Christian beliefs, and leads Bible studies. He's also served in leadership roles where many scientists might hide their faith. But Collins doesn't hide. In 2009, he became the director of the National Institutes of Health, the highest position in American medical research. At his confirmation hearings, Collins openly acknowledged his Christian faith. Rather than damage his career, his integrity enhanced it. Scientists respect consistency. They respect people who live their convictions. Collins's message is clear. You don't have to choose between believing in God and pursuing rigorous science. In fact, understanding nature deepens appreciation for the Creator. He once said, "The capacity for faith is a unique and precious gift. I don't understand scientists who deny that capacity in themselves." Francis Collins led the NIH until 2025, overseeing federal medical research funding. Under his direction, the agency funded COVID-19 vaccine research and continues advancing precision medicine, using genetic understanding to customize treatments for individual patients. Collins brings both scientific rigor and ethical conviction to his role. He advocates for research serving vulnerable populations, believing science should serve humanity and reflect God's values, including justice for the poor. Collins is also mentoring the next generation. He's actively trying to create space in science for people of faith, to show them they don't have to hide their beliefs. His example is powerful. Young Christian scientists see him and think, "I can do serious science and openly believe in God." What Collins has achieved, leading science at the highest level while professing Christian faith, remains unusual. But he's changing the culture. Slowly, more scientists are following his example. Francis Collins looked at human DNA and saw God's creation, not despite the complexity, but because of it. He decoded the genome, and his faith grew. He reached the top of scientific leadership and refused to hide his belief in God. Collins proves that the greatest scientific achievements can be made by people of profound faith, and that understanding nature can deepen reverence for the Creator. What do you think? Does Francis Collins' example inspire you? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this story, please subscribe for more content about modern scientists who openly trust God. Thanks for watching.